Good morning, everybody. You tuned into Crackcore. Now then, it's quite a sad one today because I learnt something the other day about this app that everybody's got on their phone. I don't want to mention it because the video might get blocked. But this app that everybody's been downloading to scan with the track and trace. Turns out that that's now modified to the point where it's basically it's morphed into this the passport thing. Now, this makes me feel incredibly sad because I'm starting to feel like there's no way out of this. Because I feel like the people, the masses, the majority of the population, man, are just so easy. They're just so willing to go along with this fascist regime. And at that point, anybody speaking the truth, anybody speaking sense, is just ousted as an extremist. I mean, I saw this video by Russell Brand. I ain't watched it yet, but I watched the first 10 seconds of it, like the intro. And he was asking the very fucking simple question: are you happy with the way that the information has been dealt with throughout this whole scenario that we've been living in for the last, whatever, you know what I mean, 18 months or so? And I mean, I'd have to say, no, I'm not. Because he was just basically casting light on the fact that certain information has been suppressed and certain information has been promoted, which means there isn't a free flow of information. It's basically, at that point, if it's being controlled, it's ultimately propaganda. And I mean, we all know from past experiences how dangerous propaganda can be. Look at the Second World War. Look at all the wars. I mean, wars are basically started by propaganda. That's its function, you know what I mean? It either starts them or keeps them going. And the mainstream media, man, at the minute, it's actually a good thing for the most part. I mean, it's not, but if anything, if you can take any good from the situation, the fact that the mainstream media has been highlighted as a puppet for the propaganda machine is, I suppose, good in a sense. But just going back to what I was saying about the masses, this is where most people get their information from, so you can't really, be confused as to why the majority of the population are falling for all of this subterfuge. But it's just starting to get a little bit, well, it's just starting to take the piss, isn't it, now? You know what I mean? It's just starting to take the piss because everybody's fucking suffering. And even if you don't think you're suffering, you are. I mean, since when is freedom actual freedom if it's based on a set of fucking choices you're being given by the government? That's not fucking free at all, is it? If the government's saying you can be free, but, under these fucking certain restrictions, well, it's not freedom. I don't understand why people are believing this fucking bollocks when it comes out and then going along with this whole, oh, well, we can go back to the fucking pub, we can go back to the fucking park, you know what I mean, we can do what we want now, we'll go back to the cinema, so we're free again. But you're not. I mean, in my own opinion, this is basically what's happened. They've took everything away from you, everything. Don't get me wrong, they did though, didn't they? They took your livelihood, they took your freedom, they told you couldn't go out 1 hour a day. You know what? Fucking people in jail, most of the time are getting, unless you're a really fucking bad guy, is getting more than 1 hour a day out of the cell. Do you know what I mean? So, people out here, you know, these law-abiding citizens who's getting fucking an hour a day outside their house. So they took everything away from you, man. And now they'll give it you back in dribs and drabs, but under the condition that you do it by their terms only. And that ain't fucking freedom. It's not fucking freedom. But yeah, everyone's going along with it because they're desperate. And you see, it's all a plan. It's all a plan. You got to see that. It's a plan. They created the problem. They created the fucking problem themselves. Now, I ain't talking about no fucking virus when I'm saying I'm talking about the problem. I mean, they created the need for freedom, which is why they're dishing out their version of freedom now. They would have been able to do this unless they'd have restricted you first and made you so desperate for something, anything. And you see, that's the whole thing, man. That's how they've done it. First of all, they took away your oxygen, and then they gave you an oxygen tank and a choice of mouthpieces, you know, and each one of those mouthpieces has got a different fucking poison in it. Doesn't matter which one you breathe from now, you know what I mean? But you're getting their version of oxygen now, but you'll stay alive, but just for the amount of time and in the way that they want you to be alive. Maybe you'll grow another head, you know, maybe you'll fucking, I don't know, turn green. Who knows? But let's just say, for the most part, you're breathing their brand of oxygen at this point. You see the point I'm trying to make, yeah? Now, my way of thinking is this. We're talking about the masses here. You know, we're talking about the masses. We're talking about the general majority of the population. By design, most people are passive. Most people don't want confrontation. Most people are just happy to go along with what the government say, whether that's out of laziness and they can't be bothered to fucking look things up for themselves. Maybe it's through the fear of not wanting to have to face the dark reality that they're being lied to by the people who have said that they're helping people. That's hard to understand. But one thing we need to understand is this. It's going to take something extremely severe, something crazy to get them people to wake up, which means it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But it's all a process. It's all part of the design. It's all a part of our waking up process of how we get ourselves out of darkness and tyranny. So everything is relevant. Everything is going to be needed. It's all part of the process. So love and peace to all things everywhere. This is Craig Cole signing off. Peace.